What's up guys, it's Vixen here, and today we have a tutorial on these two thumbnails for Fortnite that are really easy to make, and they are completely free in PIXLR. So before we start, there'll be a link in the description to this folder here, which has everything you'll need for this video. So before we make the thumbnail, we're going to need to download this zip file, which is the font. So once you download this out of my folder, you're going to double click it. Then double click on here, click install. I already have it, so it's going to say replace. I'm going to just click yes. So once you install this font in here, we are going to click extract and then select desktop or wherever you can find it easy. You can select anything. Click OK. I already have it, so it's going to say confirm and replace, but yours won't say this. So then after that, you're going to go to Google, type in PIXLR X. I already have it downloaded. You can download it or use the web version, it doesn't make a difference. But just make sure you're on PIXLR Express. So this is the first one I'm going to show you how to make. There'll be a timestamp for the second one, which is this one. So once you have PIXLR open, make sure it's PIXLR X. We're going to click create new. Click thumb 720. This is going to be the YouTube thumbnail resolution 1280 by 720. And then we're going to click create. So first we're going to add the font that we installed earlier by going to text up here. And then font, and then click add local font, and then go to where you extracted to, and oh, it's right here, so it should be in here. You're gonna click it, click open, and then it should add it. You can delete this for now. The first thing we're gonna do is go into the folder that I had in the description, and you're gonna drag in this background image 1 and click add current. And then you can size this down just to fit. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blur it out anyways. So make sure you have it selected. Click the adjust option on the left. You're going to crank the vibrance and saturation up just to make it pop more. And then we're going to go down to details and blur it about 50%. That should be good. I'm actually going to turn the brightness down just a little bit. Oh, that was too much. And click apply. So next thing we're going to add is the character. I have a link with a bunch of these that you can use for completely free. So we're just going to use this one for this tutorial. You're going to drag it over and click add current. So now hold down shift on your keyboard and drag this one smaller to fit it. Because if you don't hold down shift, it'll size it weird and it'll just look bad. So also if you ever do something wrong, you can click undo or Control Z. So let's have this character selected. We're going to turn the vibrance and saturation up a bit. Perfect. Move it there. Okay, so next thing we're going to add is this cash cup image, which I just got off Google. You're going to drag it in there and click add current. So I'm going to hold down control and just make it a bit bigger. We're going to move it to the side. Also, we're going to slant it a little bit by grabbing this ball at the top. That should be good. Also, we are going to click adjust on this picture. Turn the vibrance and saturation up to about halfway. So this is looking pretty good so far. But I am going to drag this picture on the right above here so that the gun goes over top of this picture. Because if it's below it, it looks like that one's in front, and that just doesn't look good. Always make sure the background is at the bottom. So now we're going to add the little bar that says your name on it. So you're going to click the plus and then shape, and then hold down shift and drag this down how you like it. So I think about that would be good. Then we're gonna click fill and drag this up to white. Click OK. I'm also gonna add a shadow. We're gonna drag this down to about 65. Now we're gonna rotate it to the side just a little bit, and then we can add the number 1 to the left of it by clicking the plus, text, and then in this text box you're gonna type hashtag and 1, and then change the font to the one that we downloaded earlier. Now we're gonna drag this size meter up so it should be just a little bigger than the bar we made. That looks good. Okay. So now we're gonna scroll down on this tab, click outline, and then we're gonna click the color drop down, change it to black. And then I think that's a good size, maybe a little bit bigger. And then we're gonna click shadow, 100% opacity. And now we can change the color of the actual text. We're gonna give it a nice like gradient gold type of look. So click the fill and then gradient tab in the middle. And then in the middle of this, before we do anything, left click there and it'll add a new color. So on the right, we're gonna change this to an orangish, and then on the left, we're gonna do another of the same color. And then in the middle, we're gonna make this a yellow. There we go. Now that gives it a little bit of a gold look to it. Click OK. Okay, so now on the right, make sure these two are next to each other and make sure the white bar is below it. You're gonna click the 3 dots and then click merge down. That's gonna merge those two things we just made into one. So now we're gonna add some text which will say your name on it. So click text, switch the font to the one we downloaded, and then you're gonna type your name. Well, don't actually type your name, type your actual name. And then we're gonna add an outline. We're gonna make it white. Then we're gonna change the fill to black. Drag this here. And we're gonna add a shadow so that you can see the outline. And turn this to match the angle of the box. We're gonna size it up. And then just line it up. Looks pretty good. Now we're gonna also do the merge down thing we did earlier. So now this is all in one part, and we're gonna put it around here. You can also change, if you think it's too slanted, you can make it a little more straight. That looks good. Okay, so now we need to add the text that's up here. So we're gonna click add layer, text, then we're gonna type qualt, change the font, add an outline, switch the color to black, and this time put the size to 100. We're also going to add a shadow, make sure the color is black. We're going to drag this around here, size it up. I think that's a good size. And then what we're going to do is either right click it and click copy layer, or you can control C and then control V, and it's going to copy it. And then we are going to change this one to finals on the left. And for this, we're going to do the same gradient that we did for the number 1. So we're going to add a plus in the middle. On the right, click color, and it should be in your recents. So it was this one. We're we're gonna do that on the left one. And in the middle is gonna be yellow. Perfect. So we're gonna push these ones a little closer. Alright, we are almost finished. We have one more layer to add, so let's go back into the folder. We're gonna drag this speedstreaks.png, click add current, and then on the right we're gonna drag this below the solo cash cup picture, but make sure it's above the background or you won't be able to see it. So then we're gonna just move, so then we're gonna click on this, move it just a little bit. That looks good. So if you want to change the color of the speed streaks, click adjust, and then you can change the hue by dragging it left or right. I'm going to keep it this color because that's what I'm going to make the border. So for the border, we're going to click plus, shape, and then without holding down shift or anything, we're going to drag this to the size of the window. Then you're going to click fill, click this, it'll make it transparent, and then click the outline, drag it to about 3, and then click the color. This time we're going to click this little pin that will let us select the color from the actual picture that we made. So we're going to click that and then get the color of the speed lines or whatever color you want to use. So let's say there, and then I'm going to change the size to 4 and then add a shadow. And that is it. That is the first one completed. You can use this to make it your own. You can change the colors or whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna do the second one. So let's go to the folder, drag in the background 2. I also got these off Google, if I didn't say that earlier. I just searched up Fortnite map background and these came up. So we're gonna click adjust on the left. Put the vibrance to 100 and the saturation to around 50. And then we're gonna blur it about 50% again. So I think that looks good. We're gonna click apply. Now we're gonna drag in the character 2. Add current. Hold down control so that it doesn't have any resizing issues. I'm going to hold control again and make it a little bigger. That looks good. So now we're going to click adjust. Make sure you have the character selected. And then change the vibrance to 100, saturation to around 40. Click apply. So now we're going to open the folder up again and drag in Fortnite settings. Click add current. And we're going to hold down control and make this a little bigger. And then I'm going to rotate it slightly using the circle at the top. And I'm going to adjust, put the vibrance and saturation up just a little bit. And then we're going to blur this about 50-40%. And now on the right, we're going to drag it behind the character, but above the background. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. So that looks good. Now we just need to add the text. On the right, we're going to click add layer, text. Then in the text box, we're going to type 2024 best. And then click font, make it the Fortnite font that we downloaded. Turn the size up to around there. We're going to drag it up here and we're going to add a curve. So we're going to add about 11 curve to it. And now we're going to go down to outline, click black, make it the max size, shadow, 100% opacity. And then we're going to come up to letter spacing and just space them out a bit so they don't overlap like that. I'm going to make it a little less. That looks good. Then we're going to Control C, Control V. Type in the text box, controller, settings. I'm gonna have to make this one smaller so that it fits. So now we're gonna click this top one and we're gonna copy and paste again. Go to the left and get rid of the part that says best. Then we're gonna change the color to yellow or any color that you want. And then we're gonna drag this on top of the old one. Just like that. Perfect. Now we're gonna click this bottom one and we're gonna copy and paste it. And on the left text box, we're gonna change it to aimbot plus God Mex. And we're gonna rotate it slightly and put it in the bottom corner. And then we're gonna copy and paste it one last time. Get rid of this so it just says aimbot. Then we're gonna change the fill to red. And once again, drag it over top. Perfect. So now we're gonna add the speed streaks. So let's go to the folder, drag it in, add current. And on the right, we're gonna drag this down below the settings image. Make sure it's above the background. And then we're gonna move it just a little bit so it's kind of pointing at the settings in a way. And then we're gonna change the color by clicking adjust, make sure it's selected on the right, and change the hue to about 144, negative 144. That looks good, so we're gonna click apply. Now we're gonna add the border by clicking the add layer button, shape, drag this to the size of the window, and then click the fill, make it transparent, click OK. Outline, set the outline to around 5, 6, and then we're gonna click the drop down, click this color selector, go to this, and then we should be finished. You can also click on this and add a shadow if you'd like, adds a little more depth, but that is it. If you did enjoy this, make sure to like and subscribe for future tutorials, and thank you for watching.